the pinnacle of precision and performance. This is the entire focus of the Ultra Arrow, and this is why it exists, so archers can constantly achieve precise accuracy with every arrow released. Ultra Arrows is ran by archers, developed by archers. The ultimate goal is bringing you an arrow that exceeds expectations. This is why this year we'll be partnering with Ultra Arrows and the rest of the outdoor group. We'll be shooting the Phantom Arrow series. Visit ultraarrows.com today to order yours and stay rugged. Ever want to take a picture or record an animal far away with your cell phone, but it ends up being a shaky mess or the photos aren't clear? Check out the Snapshot Spotter from Ollin. It's designed to go straight on your cell phone. It's a magnetic connection that self-centers for perfect alignment every time. No more shaky videos. Get picture perfect quality with Ollin. Adam, where you from?
Man, from Quitman, Louisiana. Been here my whole life, born and raised, never moved out of town, country boy redneck,
And for people that don't know that, that's just south of Ruston, Louisiana, which if people don't know that, that's east of Shreveport.
Right.
So Adam, how'd you get into hunting?
Man, I've grew up in a family of hunters, My dad was a hunter. My mom, she, her husband's a hunter, my stepdad stuff. And, uh, we just, uh, you know, loved to be in the woods my whole life. From when we was young, we used to have squirrel dogs, and that's one of my pretty much my first memories of hunting is being young, chasing that squirrel dog. Couldn't hit the squirrels for crap, but I had fun chasing them, shooting at them though. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what would you say your favorite thing to hunt is now that you've gotten older?
Oh, absolutely whitetail. Just eats me up, man. Here it is, fixing to be August, and dude, my ADD is going crazy. I've already got stands ready. I've got been shooting my bow every day, or I say every day I can. You know, uh, it's just
It's definitely right around the corner, and if whoever if anybody's listened to the last podcast talking about deer management and CWD and all that, and season's about a month away for certain people in Louisiana.
yeah. Actually, I got a buddy with some property that's in that CWD zone, and I actually think about taking him up on trying to get me a velvet buck off of little 40 acres he got over there. So hopefully we can make that happen.
Definitely. I'm not gonna say that I'm enthusiastic about seeing something that I'd want to shoot in velvet, but I'm gonna at least go out there and say I did it.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I'm gonna give it a whirl, fight the mosquitoes and the rattlesnakes, but we're gonna be out there anyway.
Explain to me why you choose whitetail as your favorite animal.
Just the thrill of accomplishment of knowing that, especially like I like to hunt a bunch of public land, and man, knowing that that deer was out there for anybody to take, and I put the homework in, I put the time in, the money, scouting, running cameras, and just the feeling of accomplishment after you've done all that is next to nothing. I do a lot of bass fishing and tournament fishing too, and even that, even winning a big tournament, don't come even close to killing a big buck. And it's just it consumes me. It really does. So, just what's really fun is when you've had one on camera for a couple of years and he's outsmarted you, for a long time. I heard that old saying is that they got to get lucky every time. All you got to do is get lucky once, especially with the amount of pressure there is in the southern states, and especially Louisiana. Uh, there's a deer stand or a box stand every 200-300 yards.
Especially that first weekend in Kisatchie, huh?
No, they gonna be there. They tried and true.
So Adam, for people that don't know you, you actually have a buck in the record books in Louisiana, correct?
That's right.
So let's talk about your Boone and Crockett buck. Obviously you killed it in Louisiana because we just talked about it. But did you already have that buck on camera? Did you know that buck was in the area?
Yeah, I had him previous years, and he was a mainframe 10, and he was still the year before he's a mid 150s buck, and I was hunting like hard. Anyway, we he was a ghost, man. You get pictures of him at night, but nothing ever during daytime. And then, it rocked on later in the year. And we got pictures of him like in January, I believe. And he actually had a hole in the bottom of his neck. And I couldn't tell if it was, I didn't know if it was a bullet hole or a horn hole from another deer fighting or something, but it made me nervous. And, went through the summer and started running cameras, like I normally do, probably about end of July, August, I start feeding. And uh, if I didn't get him, August, September, October, November, still no buck. And I just thought, well, maybe he didn't make it, from that wound. Then on December the 1st or 2nd, hey, I got a picture of him. And when I got a picture of him, I was like, oh my God, he's alive and he is humongous. And I really started hunting him hard then. I was hunting hard, don't get me wrong. I had some other decent bucks I was after. Let a few little small bucks go here and yonder. But so we got those pictures on the 1st and the 2nd, and it was like a ghost. He showed up those 3 nights in a row. Bam, gone again. No more pictures.
Starting a
So I was
pattern.
a little discouraged. Yep, yep. I got a little discouraged, and I was still running multiple cameras in several different spots. Well, about I'd say half a mile away, at another stand I had on December the 26th. Bang, he shows back up. Well, I'm at work. Didn't really have time to hunt him till 2 days later. Anyway, I was still there in the middle of the week. I called the wife. I said, "Hey, there was a cold front coming in. The temperatures throughout the day was going to drop like 15 to 20 degrees." I told her, "So we've got to be in the stand this evening." I said, "Meet me at the lease. Have me a change of clothes. Bring." Uh, I said, "Just bring my rifle because I'm gonna put you in the box stand." And I was gonna go get in. I'm normally a bow hunter, and I said, "This is the first deer that I'd shot at with a rifle in like 13 years." And uh, so I put her in the box stand, and I went and climbed up on the edge of probably about a 5, 6 year old cutover, and just hunting natural, looking out through this cutover. Anyway, I just sitting there. The hunt progressed throughout the day. I'd hit the grunt call a little bit, and about prime time as usual, I hear something walking up behind me. In a way, it's kind of trotting. Anyway, at first I was like, man, that might be a coyote. Coyotes, they trot everywhere they go. Seemed like it's just the way it sounded. And then finally I got a glimpse of deer legs. I was, well, it's a deer. And then finally he come through a little opening. I was like, oh, that's something's got a rack. It's a good one. So finally he come on up through there. He was good enough. I knew I was fixing to take a shot, no matter what buck it was. At that point in time, I still didn't know it was him. So finally he cleared some brush and he stopped. His head was behind some brush. His rear was behind the brush, but all I could see was the front shoulder and his ribs. I was like, that's all
That's
I
what you
need.
need right there.
That's it. So I was like, now or never. I touched off. He took off running, and I kind of lost him there for a second. And I was like, I was trying to find him, and all of a sudden, I caught him out of the corner of my eye. I see him rear up, fall over backwards. And I said, well, I got that one. So I called the wife. I told her, so I just shot a big buck. She's like, I know you scared the mess out of me. She's sitting in that box stand. So I told her, all right, well, come on down here, and when you get here, we'll start tracking it. Well, it just got the best of it. I knew that big something was
Uh-huh.
out there laying. So I was like, I got to go look at it. And so I started getting out there. The closer I got, I realized, hey, wait a minute now. I know this deer. I was like, holy crap, it is. We called him Mufasa. I said, it's Mufasa. And man, when I put my hands on that deer, oh, uh, I ain't gonna lie, I cried a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to
Oh,
nobody. I
there
was so excited.
ain't no shame in that.
And I just got so emotional. And buddy, remember Nick Harrison?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I used to hunt with him. He was working at the fire station. I think he almost blew his truck up trying to get over to me. And so we we rode that song around. I had people from all over coming to look at him. Not many. I mean, 171s come from Jackson Parish that grew up on pine trees and pine cones.
So what so whenever you had to go down there and look at him, what was like what was the whole walk toward him? How far did you have to walk to get to him?
75 yards. You know, I was in a climber. You know how it is. After
Uh-huh.
I shot, I come out of that tree like a cat squirrel. You know, I don't think I clicked down that thing 3 times. I was, so excited. And then, you know, when I hit the ground, when I finally was like, I need to call my wife. I need to call my wife. So I called her and then I called Nick. And, I don't even know if they understood what I was saying. I probably babbling like an idiot. And, uh, he said, so I was like you told you, sitting there waiting. I was like, I know where he's at. I got to go look at him. Like I said, it just, as I got closer, there was no ground. I've had some ground shrinkage in my life. I feel somebody like, I thought he was a little bigger.
Uh-huh.
Not this one. As I got closer, those horns started getting taller and taller. I was like, oh, Lord.
And every step you started getting closer, your heart pounded a little harder, did it?
Oh, man. By the time I got to him running, uh, I thought I was going to cardiac arrest. My heart was beating so fast. My hands were shaking. I'm glad nobody was there to really see that exact moment. They thought, man, we need to get him some help. Uh,
I can't imagine the feeling when you put your hands finally on those antlers and picked him up.
yeah, he was he's a special deer, especially for this part of the country. You'll hear some 140s and 150s come around, but I still till this day I don't know many 170s come out of Jackson Parish. It was
No,
this is
definitely not. He must have been one of them game reserve deer way back in the day.
he very well could have, man. He we're about 10, 15 miles, but deer travel pretty good ways. So
Take me through the process. You had him on the ground. You told everybody came and saw him. What made you say, "Hey, I probably need to get this thing officially scored"?
well, everybody was on me about it. I was like, uh, I was going to take him to Simmons, just because I want to put him in the big buck contest.
Right.
And then, uh, to be honest, uh, I way underjudged this deer. Um, I was thinking 150s, 160s until had another guy come help me measure. Because I mean, I killed some 120s, before this one. So I really didn't understand exactly what I had just yet. Finally, he come over. We started putting the tape on it, and them numbers started adding up more and more. I was like, oh, I might be onto something here. So finally, like I said, we come up with the uh, one. We did that. You see that trophy tape they have?
Huh? Yep.
We used it. It come up to 175. And I was like, dang, that seems like a lot. Then we did a soft tape and got 171 and 1/8 or something like that. Anyway, so I was like, I'm fixing to go get this thing, you know, really scored. Somebody that's official. And so that's when we went over to Simmons. Uh, did it there. And then Buckmasters come. And, Buckmasters don't include inside spread. And I think he was one 158 through Buckmasters, and with him having a 14-inch spread, still put him all over 170.
Right. So what did Simmons say about it? Did you entered the contest? Did you end up winning, or how'd that work out?
No, no, there was there was a fella in front of me with a deer out of Tensall, I believe, and it was it was like a 190. So I knew I had no chance of winning the actual big buck, but uh, I was still gonna get in and hopefully get that $10,000 shopping spree.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Yeah, it's hard to compete with Tenso. I think I'd want to probably say they probably win it. If it ain't every year, it's probably every other year.
yeah, somebody from over in that Tensall Parish, Morehouse Parish, is got a really good chance. Man, them river deer over there grow so big. It's it's a little unfair to us little piney wood bucks. But but we
Definitely,
have the same opportunity they do with all the public land over there. Got to go get them.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I don't think they have as many rifle days though. I don't believe. If maybe I'm wrong about that, but being a
Yeah,
WMA, they
they're
probably don't.
yeah. Well, I know. If I'm not mistaken, in Area One over there, the rifle season starts uh, a lot later than ours. Um, like a lot, like well, only into November, if I'm not mistaken. So, but
Man, that's all. That's
I
that.
wish
I mean, that's something that you're gonna be trying to chase that high for a long time.
absolutely. Well, I got pretty close to it. Not last year, but the year before, in Illinois.
Well, that goes into the next thing. Tell me about that Illinois bug. The next question was going to be, do you hunt out of state? Well, you just answered that one.
Right? Yeah. Oh man, I like to travel. And my wife, she goes right along with me. Bless her heart, she's 3 years in a row eating a tag suit, but hopefully, God, we can change that this year. Uh, but yeah, we went to this little place in Illinois a couple years ago. It was our first time ever going up there, so we were just going in blind, not knowing nothing about the area, and we had 7 days to get it done. And I had, it was on the sixth day I finally seen this buck. I had put up and took down my stand 12 times in 6 days.
Wow.
And yes, so to say by the sixth day, I was exhausted. And but I had walked so many miles. But hey, man, when you're on a new piece of public ground, it's how bad do you want it, you know? And
Oh, 100%.
finally, I found this area and had a lot of good sign, good bedding, and so um, I posted up in there. Well, let me phrase that. We was hunting close to it, and I moved my stand for the evening hunt. We went back, got us some lunch, went and got back in the stand at 1 o'clock. And at 3:05, I had a little doe come out, and she started feeding real close to me. And I was sitting there watching her, and I ain't gonna lie, I knew we had one more day left of the hunt. I even texted the wife. I said, "Hey, I've got a doe right here beside me." I said, "We ought to come back with at least some meat from out of state." And she, I was like, I talked myself out of it. But not long after that, I saw some more movement coming, and as I'm reaching for the binoculars, as soon as I put them up, he dips his head to come underneath this little bush, and he come up. All I can see was tines. I was like, "Oh, that's a shooter. No more. I
Yep.
don't got to look at him no more." And he started walking, uh, quartering away from me, and he hit my first lobe, and I come to full draw. I try to stop him. Meh. He nothing. He's steadily walking. He hits my second lobe opening. Meh. Nothing. Finally, he's fixing to go through my third opening, and he ain't stopped yet. But finally, he hits that third opening. I just, hey, he hit the brakes in. I touch y'all. And shot him at 45 yards, and like I said, I hit him just a little bit back. Uh, anyway, he run by me. I watched him run about 300 yards and bet up. And so I thought, well, that's it. That's where he's gonna stay. Anyway, I made the decision to leave him overnight. Boy, you talk about a sleepless night.
Well, man, I can only imagine that.
Yeah, I had video of him, walking away from me, and everybody. I put it on Facebook. And I said, y'all pray for me. I just shot a giant, and everybody's like, man, go find him, go find him. He was like, I
Uh
can't
huh.
do it. I can't do it, man. I gotta let him lay. And so had a buddy by Derek Goss. They had a lease in Illinois, and they was up there the same time we were, and he was about an hour and a half away from us. And he called me, and said, hey, he said, I'll be there tomorrow morning. He said, we'll go find it. He said, don't go. He reiterated not to go look for that deer. I was like, all right. So sure enough, the next morning we go, and uh, we start picked up, blood and right off the bat, and I basically went right to where he bedded up, and he wasn't there. But I was like, he can't have gone far, you know. Anyway,
Did you get a good blood
so we
trail?
started. Well, it was great all the way up to where he bedded up, and I'm shooting, rage hypodermics, and normally you hit them good with those, they bleed,
Oh yeah.
and he but I think uh he was plugged up on the off side. I think come through the guts or whatever, and plugged him up, and I don't think he was bleeding real good out of both sides. So, but anyway, he didn't make it another 200 yards after where he bedded up the previous evening. And there was a little old slough there, had some water in it, and it had some real tall grass all around. And we got there tracking in that grass. And I told Derek, I was like, man, I said, he's got to be here somewhere close because I could just smell the ruddy buck, smell. And it was so strong. I was like, he is here somewhere. So finally, I just got out of the grass while they were still uh, trying to, follow the blood trails. And I see that water. So I'm just going to go straight to that water and look the edge of it. And sure enough, as soon as I got to the edge of the water, there he was. He was laying in the water.
Wow.
Yeah. And the hooping and holler begun after that.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
And what did he score again?
He scored 160 on the dot.
You got two kills over 160.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
One,
That's awesome.
one, one with a bow and one with a rifle. I wish both of them would have been a bow, but, yeah. Uh,
Oh, a good Pope and Young buck for sure, especially out of
I,
state.
I, absolutely. Absolutely. And then last year, always the story of the one that got away. Uh, I shot another one that was probably high 140s, close to 150. Um, but he either either he ducked me just a little bit. I hit him. I backstrapped him. I hit him a little too high, and uh, he was very much alive. Running out of there. I should have had another one that was close to 150. Another good Pope and Young buck. But hey, you bow hunt long enough, you'll know the feeling. You're gonna
Oh
have
yeah.
one get away every now and then.
Oh yeah.
So
100%. I mean, you'll have a doe get away. It's just if you sling enough arrows, you're gonna miss it.
that's it.
Eventually.
That's it.
What So what was that in Illinois as well?
Yeah, same public land up
Awesome.
there.
Man,
Yeah.
I'll have to get a hold to you all next.
Absolutely, man. I'm a blindfold you till we get up there, but you're more than welcome to come go with me.
And people, hear about that and they might think, "Oh, I'm going to hunt Illinois." Well, you're technically chasing a ghost at that point, right? I mean,
That's it.
that deer's dead and gone. You're gonna have to find your own, buck. But
Yep.
people do it. People hear, stories about where they're hunting and they try to go straight to it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Um,
So do you
it,
think how enjoyable is it, I mean, I do a lot of out of state hunting, but just from your perspective, what's it like when you go to another state, that you don't really know and have that success that you had? What's that feeling like?
dude, it's so gratifying to know that hey, I just come to an area that and I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that oh I'm the best there ever is. It takes a lot of luck to be able to make it happen in 7 days. Like you've got to have lady luck on your side big time. And but you know you also go down and read the land, read the sign. Um, you know, but as far as gratification, there is no, as far as a deer hunter, there is no better gratification to go to a piece of land that you've never seen before in your life and make it happen. You know? And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I'm just I only shoot 160s, 150s. You let a big pretty 130 come by me, son, our area is getting flung.
Especially
Uh,
in Louisiana, huh?
Louisiana, it got to be 130. You let a 120 come by me, he's getting shot. Uh,
Yeah, something with just
and
a little bit of mass. That's it.
that's it, brother. That's it. Yeah, he really ain't got to have much horns on his head. Sometimes if he comes through there and gets my heart pounding, I might put a little tension on that string.
Dude, I'm the
Um,
same way. It's not necessarily if a doe steps out and I get excited, I'm probably gonna shoot the doe. That's how I am too. It's just if I
yep,
feel like shooting if I need the meat or whatever I'm trying to do population control or however I'm trying to do it, if the right, big doe comes out and that's what I want, that's what I'm gonna take. And I try to tell everybody that, is you can't watch YouTube and expect to go out and shoot even a 120 every time, right? Just
absolutely
try
not.
try to manage your land, especially on public land. You can't manage it at all.
No,
If you're new into bow hunting, new into hunting at all, get those repetitions. Get out there. You know, shoot whatever comes by if that's what you need. To get that success and get that confidence build up. Because bow hunting's all about confidence. If you're not confident in yourself or your equipment, it's gonna be a long day.
absolutely, absolutely. So, I don't know if you see much about my daughters hunting, man. So, you know, they growed up with me hunting their entire life. Anyway, they started shooting does, and then they'd shoot a little spike and a little four. I made them work their way up, Now, of course, if a big buck come out, hey, they just happened to get a big buck that day. But but so they started as they got older and they killed several really good deer. I told them, all right, with that rifle in hand, you're gonna be selective. You're gonna really only shoot whatever. It's like, Daniel, I just I really just want to shoot something. I said, well, you want to shoot something? Get your bow in your hand. And so they started, picking up archery and everything. I'll let them thin out some old slick heads with that archery. And so
I
that
mean, that's what needs to happen, though.
absolutely, absolutely. You gotta you know learn the ups and downs of the archery. Sometimes the lessons of hard knocks is a rough one. And I learned a lot. 'Cause my folks were never archery. My dad had a bow, he handed it down to me, but he wasn't just huge into archery like I am. And so when I was trying to learn it, I learned a lot of what not to do.
Oh yeah.
And so they've had the benefit of, Daddy had already been through this mess and knows a little bit about it. So I've helped him out a lot. And but they realized it's not as easy as it looked. And they went out there first year and everybody killed one with a bow. Well, they thought, oh, this is easy. All right. Well, the next year,
Uh-huh.
all three of them missed opening weekend. They was like, God, I don't know what I did. I said, welcome to archery hunting.
No, 100%, and you'll learn more in one archery season than you will probably 5 or 10 years gun hunting.
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially just deer movement, how the sounds, the you know kind of mannerisms they have. It's amazing how much you learn about a deer when a deer's 20 yards from you.
And it seems like sometimes, and you could probably attest to this, if you try to go most of the time, if you try to sneak in there and be real quiet, they bust you more often than if you just walk straight in there and get in your stand.
100%. So I've done figured out that down on our public land, I mean on our private land, uh, I will drive the four wheeler all the way to the stand and drop the kids off, and then turn around and drive out of there. And by the time they got up in there, put their safety harness on, got their bow ready, and sit down, the deer's coming out.
And they pattern that four-wheeler.
Absolutely, because I go in there and I feed, um, and then when I leave out, my camera shows them right there. So I was like, hey, there ain't no reason to walk in there. And plus, you put ground scent down, period. And then so uh, just use the tools you gave to your advantage.
No, 100%, and like you said, but especially bow hunting out of state, I mean, just to watch those deer work, especially up, like, northern states, I know, like, the Kentucky when I go hunt whitetail in Kentucky, it's a whole totally different type of hunting than you used to. You almost gotta you're starting over from scratch every time you go out of state.
Right, right. Um, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you can tell. It sure is nice to hunt unpressured deer sometimes.
And it really don't make sense, like, I I can't put it into words, but I know exactly what you're talking about. If I hunt Louisiana public land or my land, but then I go off to, South Texas or I go hunt Colorado or Kentucky, I mean, it's almost like they've never seen a person in their life.
No, no. I can't tell you. I mean, like in Louisiana, I can count on maybe one hand the amount of times that I've been walking through the woods and walked up on a mature buck. And most of the time when I walk up on him, he scares me just as much as I scare him, and he is hightailing it next to the next parish over. And but up in Illinois, I've hunted Kansas. Um, I have walked up on several big mature bucks. And I'm like, and they'll just kind of sit there and look at you for a moment. And you're like, are you serious? And them deer up there ain't seen enough rednecks.
I don't know if it's just I don't know if they're just too busy farming the land to even, go scouting or nothing, but I know what you're talking about. Uh, like when I go in Kentucky, I've never seen a person hunting that wasn't, at least with my party. As far as like, I had to look up one time. I was like, "Are we even supposed to be hunting here?" Because I was like, "Where? Why is there nobody hunting here?"
So I want to make a trip to Kentucky one day. That was one of my states. Either Kentucky or Ohio is on my next state to go to. Either next year or the year before. I need to really start putting in for my stuff for Iowa. I want to go there too.
Yeah, I have a buddy, Jake Griffith. He was on, I think, episode 7 or 8, maybe 8 and 9 or something like that. And I need to touch base with him. I think he might have drew his Iowa tag. I think he's been putting in for 5 or 6 years, and he finally got drawn.
Oh man, that's got to be awesome. I know he's
Oh,
pumped
yeah.
up.
Oh, absolutely. And like hunting in Colorado. I mean, which is I'm mostly just elk hunting in Colorado, but every time you get that email saying, congratulations, it's just a amazing feeling because now that's when the work really starts.
Oh yeah, yeah. Here comes the 9 million hours spent on Onyx, looking at every little ridge and road and creek crossing, and
Yeah, and that is you got to have multiple plans because I know as soon as I get there, I know exactly what mountaintop I'm going. I know exactly where I'm going to glass. But if you're on the way up the mountain, which it takes about an hour and a half from the bottom to get to the top where we set base camp up. But Kentucky's definitely a different animal too. I hunted up in the mountains as well over there, and those deer just move a lot. I'm not gonna say it's easier probably because there's so much diversity and like terrain. It's not like they're just gonna walk over that ridge top. They got to go around and then up. So you find those pinch points where they have to move, and uh, you got them. But what's your 2026 year look like?
man. So we dialed it back from last year. 'Cause last year we hunted Kansas and Illinois, and we had a little lease in Kansas, and uh, trying to run cameras there, keep it fed, you know, and then figure out our dates between when we're going to hunt Kansas, when we're going to hunt Illinois. We're just strictly going to Illinois this year. We didn't even put any for Kansas. We got out of that little lease, but so so basically just hunt around here uh, until November, man, and then give it everything I got up there, and that's 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 about it. We
How long do y'all go in November?
normally go for about 10 days. Uh, that first time we went, we only planned 7 days because we really didn't know. But now that we know kind of what we're looking at, we're like, oh, we need to get more days. We can be a little bit more selective on those first, 6 or 7. And
What's that pressure like on hunting that sixth and seventh day?
it starts to little tag starts getting heavy in that pocket. Because I don't hunt these something just to look at them. I like to eat them too now.
Uh huh.
Uh, and so about that 6, 7 days, them dreams of them 170s and 180s start turning into, oh, look at that 120 over there. It might do. Uh,
Yeah, I totally understand. Not to switch gears, but I think it was so last year I didn't deer hunt at all. I was strictly duck hunting. That's what my son wanted to do. Got that new duck boat. That's what we did. But the year before, it come down to the last day of the season, and I, I feel bad, but one yearling stepped out, and I was like, if I don't kill this, to get the meat, then I don't have no meat. So it is what it is, right?
right. Yeah. That's in Louisiana, ever since I've killed this big one here, I've kind of stopped hunting as hard in Louisiana. I'm not gonna lie, because I kind of, especially my little private land, I try to spend most of my time doctoring that up, getting it ready for my wife and my daughters, because I really, I love seeing them be successful and kill good deer, and they pretty much stock the freezer for me. Uh, um, And that way and when I do go, I can be more selective. It's not that burning thought in the back of my head saying, "Hey, you ain't got no steaks in the freezer, buddy." That old 90-pound maiden doe out there is looking pretty good.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I can let a few more walk. Now,
Yeah,
he come out on them now. He better take off running because they gonna be slinging legged. I can promise you.
yeah, that's the gun line right there, ain't it?
That's it. And ain't no doubt. Ain't no doubt. Uh,
So you talk about being, passionate bow hunter and love to bow hunt. So tell me what your setup is, coming into 26. What kind of bow you shooting? What your arrow setup, sights? Walk me through your setup.
I am shooting. Um, it's a Matthews TX5. It's a little 27-inch axle bow. I have got a real short draw length. I'm a 27.5-inch draw. So, and this bow was meant for smaller draw length bow hunters. And um, it's it's a it's a very uh, tree stand friendly bow. It's good uh, for that too. But anyway, I'm shooting. I got QAD rest to shoot a single pin HHA sight. I'm shooting the Goldtail Pro Hunters on it. I've been shooting them things for years, and I'm definitely a firm believer if it ain't broke, I ain't fixing it.
Yep, great
Uh,
great shaft.
yeah, and I stick with the old Rage hypodermics,
Rage in
and
the
they
cage.
that's it, brother. They have, you hear all the horror stories about, oh, they didn't open, oh, they didn't do this, that, and the other. But I can generally tell everybody that asks me about broadheads is they have helped me way more than they've ever hurt me. I said, I shoot a big expandable for the imperfect shots, not for the perfect ones. Anybody can hit one perfectly behind the shoulder and kill it with any broadhead that's out there. You know, I shoot the big expandable when I don't do my part and make, not the greatest shot. And, and that's where they really help.
So going into your bow setup and all that, do you do any 3D shoots or you know ranges or anything like that?
um, not as far as, going to the shoots themselves. Um, I just I do a lot of bass fishing during the spring and the summer and stuff, and uh, that takes up my time there. But I do enjoy going out to 3D range, and when they got the target still set up, like our little local place here, they leave them up year round, and um, just some, not their good targets, but just enough to have a little range out there, and it's fun to go shooting. Me and a couple of other buddies, we went and got together at the Lincoln Parish Park, and they leave up about 20 targets year round, and it's fun to go sling and laugh at each other, missing the target, and giving each other heck out there. But,
Oh yeah, yeah. And I didn't. I mean, we got that big course in Minden. I would like to shoot it, but I'm not a course guy either. I don't know, but if it's target panic or just don't want to be around that many people shooting or what it is, that's probably what it is. It's almost like playing golf. I don't. If waiting on me, it's definitely going in the woods.
oh yeah, yeah. I was like, let me show you this. Let me you ain't never seen anybody slice like I can.
Yeah, especially when you say, "Hey, y'all can play through," and they say, "No, we'll stay behind you." You're like,
Oh
"Oh man."
yeah. Oh, I hated that. I
Yeah.
played golf the first time in probably 7 or 8 years this year, and we had that exact thing happen. There was a group of four of us, four of them, and it was only me and another guy, and we caught up to them. They was like, "All right, y'all can play through," and they're all sitting there in the tee box just watching. He gets up there, and I'm talking about laces one right down the middle of the fairway, and I'm
All
like,
right, we'll just
"Oh
play your
God."
ball.
That's what I should have done. I should have done that. But I tell you, I hit that song on it. It went out there. It looked great for about 40 yards, and that's I took a hard right to Albuquerque, son. All up
It was
through the
straight.
cherry.
It was straight till I got to the women's tee.
That's right. Yeah. That's so good. I was like, hell, I didn't even go look for it. Well, look, go play your ball. That's fine. Yeah. That's a
So,
boy.
Adam,
You talking about a frustrating game? Good lord.
oh yeah, no. If you want to get frustrated, you play golf. Bow hunting and boat
Absolutely.
shooting it all. That's way more laid back than any golf game.
Right. Right. But I do, man. I have the new bow fever so bad right now, and I just haven't figured out what I want to go with.
So I'm not gonna I'm not gonna point you in a direction or whatever as far as what bow, but I would definitely go out and just go shoot them all and just see what you like. Don't I shot a Matthews for a long time, and go in there and just shoot them all, and because what it don't cost you nothing to shoot it. I know some
Absolutely
people just
not.
get
No.
hung up on Hoyt. I can only shoot a Hoyt. Well, heck, the new Hoyts might not be your thing, or you might need a bow tech for your style of shot. So I've definitely become more open minded. I know we did partner with the outdoor group, so I will be shooting Elite this year. Great company. I could kill my first deer ever with the Elite. But yeah,
Great
I
bows.
mean, oh, they're all. I don't think there's a bad bow on the market. I think it just depends on what you want. If you want something as fast as you can get it, a Sicario bow is actually the best, but they're harder to shoot. They're not as accurate, as far as everybody shooting it. So, uh,
Right.
but what kind of,
The this little Matthews I'm shooting now has a 5.5 inch brace height, so I know about the not very forgiving brace heights. Sure.
oh yeah, I think, is it 6-inch brace height now is what Matthew shoots? I have to look at that. I can't remember. Uh, but
That that
what kind of bow are you looking at? Are you looking at a shorter bow, a more compact bow, or
so I've been shooting this one for several years now, and I don't know, man. I love getting out here in the yard and shooting long distances, and so I'm thinking about getting a little bit longer axle this year. I've had a 27 and I've had a 30 and two 30s. The Matthews Halon was a 30 and my PSE axe was a 30. So I've never had the long axle, and so I want to try one with a little bit longer, longer brace height, and just you know see how I like it, and just. But I'm not brand specific, me. So it don't matter what brand it is. If it feels good in my hand and I shoot it well, that's what brand I'll shoot. And
well, absolutely. Not not to do any kind of bragging or not, but uh, that new bow just got delivered today, so I'm actually having somebody bring it to me down to Lake Charles just so I can start setting it up and start shooting because
oh
we'll
man,
be we'll be on 712s for the next 4 weeks. So I was like, well, I don't have time to set this bow up in a week. I need to start shooting it now.
right, right.
But I
Mm-hmm.
went with the VAR, so I was the same way as you. I had a VXR for the last 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it. Great bow, short, compact. Loved how I could shoot it out of pretty much anything. I've killed one deer. It was a box stand, but I just put it like a shoot house. Just put it on the ground, killed a deer out of it. Just so compact. Loved it. Just a little heavy for a 28-inch bow. But I went with the 32-inch Varus is what I'll be shooting.
I got you.
What
Yeah.
So what kind of setup do you usually run? You mostly use climbers, or you use tree stands or saddles, or what's your
No,
go-to?
man. I got the trophy light sticks, and I run the Millennium. What's the little small one? The M50. Or yeah, yeah. That's what I use. Is just sticks in that. I just I well, for one, I'm scared of heights. I know that sounds crazy. I'm in tree stands all the time. I get 25, 30 feet up in them, but it's something about that saddle that I believe that it will mess with my fear of heights. And I know, and I'm curious, and I'm thinking about trying to borrow one from somebody and get into it, but there's just something about having that firm platform up underneath my feet that makes me feel a little bit more calm when I'm at that height.
Oh, that saddle has a platform too.
Yeah, it does. It ain't much of one. It's barely got your feet on there.
Yeah, yeah, a
Uh,
little 12
yeah,
inch by 12-inch little block up there.
yeah, yeah. And I'm not no little bitty fella. I weigh 250 pounds, and I have a feeling that I'm scared it's going. I'm wide, I'm broad shouldered and thick hip, and I have a feeling it's going to pinch at my hips. But I don't know. I've never used it. I can't say it's going to do it. I'm
And
sure
that's the
you're going to have.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's so many out there built for different people. I've known people that have built their own just because they are a little bit bigger, a person, or went with a custom. But you know, as long as you're out there, it don't matter. It's just a little bit more weight you got
No,
to carry around, but it is what
yeah.
it is. As long as
I
you're
mean,
okay
my
with it.
total setup ain't but 19 pounds.
Right.
So, uh, I mean, if I can tote 19 pounds for a long ways, and I have.
Uh,
So,
oh yeah, and still got many
so
miles left.
oh yeah, yeah, and so I think as long as I can keep it around that and not put too many little Debbie snacks in my backpack, I believe we'll be all right.
So you mentioned, one more thing. You mentioned about long rifle seasons and stuff like that. What kind of you get frustrated by Louisiana's long rifle season and the gun laws and stuff around here, or are you okay with it?
Man, do I? So just going back to the big deer I killed, you know, so that deer come back to a 5.5 year old, right? I'm not I'm not saying that hey we all have to need to go to shooting 5 year olds or only because that's bull. That takes all the fun out of it. I'd love for it to be still fun. I don't want to take any of that away, but I do think we have potential to have we have great deer in Louisiana, but they very rarely do they ever get potential because you have 3 buck tags. Man says, "Oh, well, can't eat the horns. Bye, I'll shoot the spot." And then next day, 4 point comes out. Bang, he shoots it. Because you know what? He still has tags. And then, um, not only that, our rifle season starts the last weekend in October and runs all the way to the second weekend in January.
Hmm.
That's it's. I just I don't want to take anything away as far as um, opportunities, but I do think we need to shorten some uh, and dial it back a little bit.
Yeah. So talking with the biologist and it's on the podcast if you want to look. He was saying, per deer studies and all that, Louisiana, unpopular belief, it actually ranks, on up there. I think he said top five, it might be top 10, and mature whitetail harvest out of in the country. Now, it might, I'm sure Tensile bumps our numbers up a little bit. I just don't know how we can take away without, once they take away something, the state in general, and once the government starts taking, they don't ever give it back.
Right. That's a big worry. Is you know uh, losing overall opportunity. Like I said, like with the dog running. Um, hey, I enjoy going running dogs every now and then. Uh, do I want it on a club that I hunt every time? Absolutely not, because I prefer just me. I prefer trying to kill better quality bucks. Um, that don't mean that the next guy has to go by that. That's no uh,
Yeah, and
and
it's so situational. I mean, like, what if you only got one weekend to hunt and you finna shoot to kill? It's hard to. But I know some guys and some people that they're gonna shoot whatever. They're gonna shoot the first thing no matter what it is. They could have 160s on camera, and if a spike comes out or a 4 point, they go.
yeah, yeah. Um,
It's
maybe
definitely something to think
uh,
about, though. I just don't know the answer for that.
yeah, yeah. Uh, very touchy topic. Just because like you said, that's a good point. Is once they take it away, if they ever feel like if they ever get the hand on it, taking stuff away, what? All right, once they do that's gone, what's next? You know,
Look
and
at Oregon. They're trying to outlaw hunting.
oh, that's crazy to me. Uh, then at the end of the day, we are all outdoorsmen, and whether you agree with their style, whether it's crossbow or gun or whatever, hey, we're still sportsmen. We enjoy the outdoors. We need to all stick together on no matter what it is, and because there's a lot of people out there that are against us, and
100%, and I think that's what they want to do. They want to try to divide within our group. And I used to be mad at crossbow hunters, and I used to do this, but at the end of the day, I mean, we have to. If I vote that hey, I don't want a crossbow season, Well, then they want to take away bow hunting with a crossbow. People are going like, well, I didn't get my way. I'm not going to give you, I'm not going to vote for you this time.
Right. Yeah.
So they just got to come together.
Yeah. Yeah.
But but Adam, man, I appreciate you coming on the podcast. Is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Uh, no, man, I appreciate you having me. It was good catching up with you, man. It's
No,
been a while.
absolutely. Yeah, we
Uh,
probably ain't seen each other in probably 8 years, probably now 6, 7 at least.
I haven't played softball since 2017, so that tells you how long.
All right, 9 years
So,
ago then. Well,
yeah,
we
yeah.
need to catch up. You tell me about that new shooting range up in North Louisiana. We need to shoot it. You can shoot the new elite. Maybe that'll really get your blood boiling on trying to get a
Absolutely.
new bow or something.
Heck yeah. You trying to turn me into an elite man before you know it.
No, I just want you to shoot them all.
Yeah,
There's a cult
absolutely.
there's a definitely a cult following on certain brands, and
Yeah,
we're just
yeah,
trying
very
to
much so.
get in where we fit in. But
That's
no,
right. That's
like I
right.
said, I appreciate you coming on, and we're gonna stay in touch. I want you back on the podcast, especially when we get close to hunting season and talk about this August hunt. It's gonna be really hot. We're gonna have to get that couple thermosails out, and we'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
absolutely. All right, man. We'll stay in touch, brother. It's about time to start sharing some deer pictures anyway.
Absolutely, man. Stay rugged.
Bye, man.